Graders, this is Science Lesson 3, Day 2. I'm breaking it up like this so that it's for the videos. Hopefully it's okay for you guys to follow. They'll all be posted so you guys could always work through them again. I think it's going to help if your Chromebooks are open and you guys are watching this, but also know that we are going to stop at a few places that you may have to toggle to the other screen and be able to fill in a part. So hopefully that works. I'm going to try using the computer voice. Please stop moaning. I know no one likes the voice, but let's pay attention.
3. It is a different time of day in different places. Suppose that you live in Hawaii. You text a photo of the sunset to your cousin in New York. Your cousin replies, "Why are you texting me after midnight? How can it be after midnight in New York when it is not even 7:30 p.m. in Hawaii?" New York and Hawaii are in different time zones, so it is never the same time in both places. A time zone is a part of the world where the same standard time is used. For example, Iowa and Arkansas are in the Central Time Zone. So, when it is 5:00 p.m. in Iowa, it is also 5:00 p.m. in Arkansas.
Now, guys, I have lived in all the time zones except for Alaska and Hawaii. I used to live in Boston right here. I was on the Eastern Time Zone. Live here now in Chicago, which is in the Central Time Zone. I lived in Colorado Springs in the Mountain Time Zone. And I lived in Seattle, which was in the Pacific Time Zone. One of the things to remember with the time zones is that the Mountain and Central Time right here, we align our TV schedules the same, where prime time starts at 7 o'clock. The Eastern Time Zone and the Pacific Time Zone align their primetime TV starting at 8. So an example, our local news comes on in Chicago at 10, where in New York or in LA, their local news comes on at 11. It's a little different. We're going to scroll down here. The time in each time zone is based on the pattern of the sun's position in the sky. The moment when the sun is at its peak or highest point in the sky is called noon. But the time that the sun is at its peak differs from place to place. The sun's position in the sky changes because Earth rotates. For a given spot on Earth, the sun is always at its peak when that spot is pointed directly at the sun. So it'll always be noon in New York before it is noon in Hawaii. Time zones are set up in such a way that the sun is at or near its highest point at 12 p.m. The world is divided up into 24 time zones. The times in these time zones, are 1 hour apart. The United States spans 6 time zones. New York is in the Eastern Time Zone. Hawaii is in the Hawaiian Aleutian Time Zone, which is 5 hours behind the Eastern Time Zone. So when it is midnight in New York, it is 7 p.m. in Hawaii. Check for understanding. This shows you guys the 24-hour time zone. And it shows how it's not perfect. It kind of zags around a little bit. If you guys notice, one thing that's really crazy is China is all one time zone. Even though it's so big, they keep the same time, which I think is kind of odd that they do that. But they probably do it for reasons being that they want all the businesses and schools at the same time. Okay, so let's scroll down. And it says complete each of these tasks. So I'm going to leave you now, and you guys are going to do this, but I want you to do this on your computer. It saves it and sends it to me. It says that you want to write noon, 12 p.m. and Eastern in the Eastern Time Zone of the United States. Then you have to write the remaining time zones. Finally, write the correct times in each zone, assuming it is noon here. So you guys use this toolbar to do this. When you guys are done, you guys are to click on this, and I'll meet you for the next lesson tomorrow.